The first connector we're looking at is a Hubble RJ45 connector. We will terminate to preferably the T568B standard, which is listed on the inside of the connector. If the job site that you're working on has existing wiring in it, they may be terminated to an older standard known as 568A. Verify which standard you're using before you start your terminations. If you're terminating to 568A, use the color coding that is on the outside of the connector rather than the color coding on the inside of the connector. Once again, we're working with the 568B standard as an ETC default. Take your Cat5 cable, using a cable stripper or a knife, strip back approximately 2 inches of jacket off the cable, being careful not to nick the wires on the inside of the cable. It doesn't go the first time, take a second swing at it. You'll find a pull string inside of the cable. Clip that off and discard. Fan the wires out and you'll find an orange and an orange-white pair, a blue-white pair, a brown and a brown-white pair, a green and a green-white pair, all twisted together. You'll need to untwist those wires before you're ready to land them on the connector. With the wires untwisted, insert the connector into the Hubble palm protector. And then lay your wire into the connector by the color coding on the inside. Blue, white, blue, orange, white, orange, green, white, green, brown, white, brown, keeping the wire twist as close to the edge of the connector as you can. Then using an RJ45 punch-down tool set to a low impact with a 110 punch-down blade, punch down each one of the wire connections into the slots on the connector, making sure that the cutting edge of your blade is to the outside of the connector. Turn the punch-down tool from one side to the other as you move to the opposite side of the connector to avoid cutting off your wires inside of the connection. If the wires don't clip, twist them slightly. They'll pull neatly off of the connector. Remove the connector from the palm protector and pull the piece of plastic off the bottom, turning it around and pushing down on top of the connector. That completes the termination for a Hubble RJ45 connector. We'll move on now to the Panduit connector. The second type of connector used in ETC installations for Ethernet connections is a Panduit connector. This connector doesn't require a punch-down tool. Preparation for the wire is similar to what you saw in the Hubble. Strip back just a little bit more, 2 to 3 inches of wire. Pull the jacket off and remove the pull string. Fan out the wires, once again taking note that there are 4 different colors that you'll be dealing with. You'll want to untwist all the wires before attempting to insert them into the top half of the Panduit connector. With the wires fanned out, you'll want to organize them to the 568B standard. In this case, orange, orange-white, green-white, blue-white, blue, green, brown, brown-white. If you lay your wire out that way, straighten out each one of the conductors as much as possible. Press your wires into a nice flat shape, maintaining the color order: orange, orange-white, green-white, blue-white, blue, green, brown, brown-white. Take your side cutters and cut them at an angle. This allows the wires to slide nicely into the channels already color-coded for you on the Panduit connector: orange, orange-white, green-white, blue-white, blue, green, brown, and brown-white. It'll slide nicely through the plastic cover with the excess wire hanging out the end. Clip them off flush with the edge of the connector. Take the other half of the Panduit connector, push the two together using any pair of pliers, vice grips. Press the connector together. The insulation displacement on the inside will pick up each one of the wires. This completes the termination of a Panduit connector. So we've now seen both a Hubbell RJ45 connector and a Panduit RJ45 connector terminated to ETC specifications for a Cat5 cable.